Top left-hand side, we're going to kick things off with that blue Terran player. This is going to be Bunny taking on the red Zerg. In the bottom right-hand side, Reynor. It's not been a good day for Bunny. He's 0-3 right now. That's not where you want to be. No one wants to be there. So Bunny is not in a great place. Reynor is obviously, first match of the day for him that we're seeing on stream. So we do not know how his day has gone. We'll get to see how his day starts here. Obviously expected to be a bit of a favorite right now. We'll see what that looks like. Especially as Bunny just lost out to Lambo. It's been a matchup like TVZ, which is very mechanical. I would dare to say that I would kind of pick Reynor as a favorite here right now. Reynor's playing, yes he is. We should have a bunch of Reynor games back to back. Like I say, if the timing of this series works out with the other series ongoing, there is a chance that we get the Lambo Classic series live instead of from replay. If we can pull that one off, then we will probably do that, even if I kind of want to do it live. I like doing the series live if possible, right? So if we can sneak a 6-1 in and they don't have to wait too long, I think that's probably what we go for. Unless these guys get locked into like an ultra late game TVZ, we'll probably have that one next. But otherwise, it's going to be a bunch of Reynor games still to come. There's the overall coming through. The bracket's going to be posted on stream today. We should be drawing the brackets live on stream. As long as no one comes in and has silly scheduling requests that require me to maybe fix the bracket a little bit more than I'd like to admit, then we should just be drawing them live on stream. So far, I've only had one person request one thing, which was pretty reasonable and should be manageable, so we should just be able to draw the rest of the bracket live later and then make the schedule from there. So, yeah. Sometimes, very rarely, certain players like, hey, I can't play here, and the other guy's like, hey, look, I really can't play this, and it's like, if those two guys play each other, the entire bracket's going to be delayed, so we make sure they go on different sides of the bracket, but I don't think anything like that is happening unless there's some super crazy requests that come in the next couple of hours. So, yeah, we should be fine to draw that live on stream later, and we'll have a look at what's going to be coming up over Saturday and Sunday. Reaper here. Putting some pressure on. Damage being done. Hatchery taking some shots. Command center building. Orbital building. And gets settled in as the factory is about to finish. The reactor builds up onto the barracks. And, yeah, factory swaps over to the reactor. Barracks moves to the side. Starport begins. See the couple of queens going to be there hitting the Reaper for a couple of moments. Reaper going to get around the back and just continue to ping away at the hatchery. So a few shots coming through. Well, Crypt team are going down, or taking some shots at least, taking some damage already. Isn't Harston playing the tournament today? No, Harston was in one of the earlier groups, unfortunately did not make it through. So Harston is not going to be here on stream for a couple days at least. Maybe he'll be here on the Monday Cup though. It's a super weird third location. It's an interesting one. I think forward positions like this usually you don't love as a Zerg. But you got to think of it like this. I mean, how does the Terran abuse this base? Usually forward bases are bad because Terrans can push straight into it. That's not really true. In fact, to kind of push this base, you have to come down here, then up, which maybe gives you some opportunity to mine out these minerals and open that space for a wraparound. Or you come down here, then up, which would have been the third base anyway. The other argument to be made then is this area scary? And I don't think it is. Like, if you put tanks here, they're not tucked into a corner, right? There's a lot of open space behind. Reynor just takes the fight here, and you get cleaned out, I think. So I think the idea is that he just feels like this is actually a safe enough location that is not truly exposed for pointing outwards into the map, because the access to this base is still quite deep into his territory. So it feels kind of strange, and maybe it's not going to be the most normal. Maybe it's not the best as well. It doesn't have to be. But I can kind of understand why he does put it there. Like I don't look at it and think, oh yeah, that just makes no sense at all. I can kind of understand the justification that he might think it's kind of safe, and then you get pushed forward on the map, you get the creep out. Whenever you take a fourth, and this is the big thing, if you establish this third base now and you hold on to that third, wherever you take a fourth base is going to be quite far back. And it's going to be very tough for the Terran to get one big push on top of your 4th. Because it's going to be far back, and it's going to be, you know, behind a lot of layers of creep spread. I think he's going to take the bottom right-hand side. And so then the question becomes, where do you set up for those big Terran pushes that typically look to get on top of, deny 4 bases, and all of that kind of stuff, right? I think that is genuinely kind of the problem. That 4th base goes down there, like, yeah, there's loads of creep in front of it. So yeah, I think it becomes very difficult already for Bunny to try and get stuff going in that direction. One upgrades, combat shield come through. We got the infestation pit coming up as well. Let's have the Hellions coming back down. The Reaper is going to come over. Obviously, going to be maybe able to get a creep team or two or so here. Finds a drone that would have looked to be the double expand, a secondary 4th base, or the 5th hatchery if neither of them end up getting denied. Where's the Zerg army? He ain't got much, man. He made 6 roaches in this game, and that's about it. I mean, to be fair, like, Bunny hasn't really shown any reason for Reynor to have to make units before now. Obviously, he can add a few more roaches on here to kind of buy some time. He is getting roach speed, so he will kind of play with a few roaches in this game. Getting link speed, carapace as well. Getting a lot of this ready. Is he actually ready for this attack is a good question. Those rocks are not expired yet, so we've got about a minute before those rocks naturally dissipate. And the moment those rocks dissipate, then it's going to be a more easy position to attack into. For now, maybe this is a bit of a tougher base to hold on to, so there we go. I'm trying to defend it. I'm giving my reasons why I think it's okay. But he is still going to end up in some trouble on it. So for now, here's what's interesting is, because this happens at a time where the 4th base is up, he transfers the works to the 4th. He is oversaturated, so he is losing some mining, but this base is not dying quickly. So how upset are we about this as Reynor? I still feel like not overly upset. We actually get the Banshee, remove some of the high ground vision there. Medevac will unload on the high ground too. And if in the end Bunny spends time knocking this hatch down and Reynor ends up with a base on the left and a base on the right still, I'm still not sure if I'm overly upset as Reynor. I guess then that begs the question, well, would this not have just been better to have just expanded right and left to begin with? And yeah, maybe it would have been. The problem is you can't go right early because you need the time to mine out the minerals. So you could go left, but I think the left base is the more exposed base and the more easily gotten to base as well. So perhaps it's, you know, some reasoning behind that. Or maybe this was just a bad choice. That's also a possibility too. I'm trying to play all the defensive reasons, but it doesn't have to be a smart reason. It could have just been a bad choice in a map he's not familiar with. It looked good at the time. Looking at it now, maybe he regrets it. That said, Reynor's also been playing the tech game, right? He's already on Hive, so he's already got Vipers on the way. Bandit speed is coming up as well. We already had Roach speed built too, so Reynor's getting into a very good feisty army very soon. And like I say, especially because he's got Hive tech up and available, that's going to make his army so much better than you'd expect. Just having some spellcasters already by 9 minutes in this game is going to be fantastic. Love. Ling's just going to find themselves that one Marine. Just threaten the idea of a counterattack or grabbing reinforcements. Might want to use these Lings just to come around the backside of this army and let these Banes have a real chance to get through and connect. Reynor's thinking about it. Doesn't go just now. Looks like he's going to let this bottom left base go down as well, so we'll just let that fall and doesn't fight it, so lets a base be taken. There's no 4th in the way here from Bunny, right? This is just 7 racks moving to 8 racks, so he's just essentially 8 racksing. And Reynor just says, you know what? You're taking out a 5th base. You know, 5th bases are not what Reynor is worried about right now. Like, as long as he sits 4 bases mining at the moment, I think he's going to be pretty okay with this for now. So, as long as he's pretty okay with that, I feel like he's feeling good. I feel like he likes it. I feel like he shouldn't be too upset about the way that things are potentially heading. Mayo gets toward the creep team is there. A little bit of the creep taking a couple of shots. Nothing too crazy. Just going to be seeing these tanks sieging again. Again, these bases are just taking Bunny's attention, but Reynor's just not even mining from them. Like I say, far right base comes up, so that's your 4 base now, set up once more for the moment. So we get that established. Just see the medevac here. We'll load up a few Marines. We pull back over to the left-hand side as we have the Zerglings are going to run across as well. Big counterattack from Reynor up to the top. Bio will be there. Turn those Lings back around once more. Tanks coming through. A couple creep tumors going to be picked off. The Ling Bane will take a chance to knock through a set of these rocks as well, so a couple of rocks already going down. Some good shots through here. The Lings are going to run through. Tanks are going to load into the medevacs. Retreat away. The rest of the Ling Bane now coming forward. Good blinding cloud going on to those tanks that are sieging. That means a lot of those Banes are coming through successfully despite the lack of creep spread. Does the lack of group spread end up costing us in the end? Maybe. There's a lot of Marines left over. The Roach Ravager are going to try and fight this still. The scary part is you're going to get pushed back off of this in the end here as Bunny, so you do start going the wrong direction eventually. Fling Roach Bane still coming through. Ultra Cavern will start. +2 melee, +3 carapace coming online. The 3-3 upgrades come up from Bunny as well. He's going to be taking a lead in the supply in this game. Bunny, who's not won a series all day, is now leading this game 1 against Reynor. A little bit of an upset at the end of the day for Bunny. A little bit of a saving grace. Could maybe be something that nets him a 4th place finish and some prize money if he won this series, even if he can't make playoffs from here, which I think is kind of likely that he can't make playoffs from here. Even if you can't make playoffs, you know, fighting for that little bit of extra prize money for 4th place is absolutely a valid choice. That's why we have the prize money difference for 4th and 5th. Every series should matter to some extent. Reynor tries to attack in, gets the tank, but he's struggling supply-wise. Can he get enough up? Ultra Cavern on the way through, but I'm not sure he's going to be rich enough to make Ultras. He's only got 200 gas banked. Vipers don't even know what to spellcast. I mean, what do? Blinding Cloud on the bio, I guess, and just hope it dubs forward through the Blinding Cloud into you? It ain't pretty at the end of the day, as the Zerglings still coming through. The Roach Ravage going to be there. A couple of vials onto the bio. Hatchery will take a few more shots. 3-3 upgrades coming about. Just going to be seeing this hatch from the Queens continue to go down as well. More damage being done. The bio going to be there. The Lean Bane still coming through. Blinding Clouds drop down again. The Banes are going to keep on rampaging to the front. Those Marines getting chased back, and Bunny is going to find himself losing a bit of supply. He's going to pull back. He has a 4th base up. He's done a good job of obviously limiting Reynor's bases, but Reynor is surviving as a 5-base Zerg and is now arriving to Ultras, which is a big tech advantage in a game where Bunny has been all about the aggression and not so much about taking, you know, a route into Ghost and into kind of later game tech himself. He doesn't have a Ghost Academy yet. He would have to build that first and then go from there. I mean, the first couple of, you don't need Ghosts right away, but it's definitely something we need to start thinking about in terms of like where we're going to, what our overall plan is, and just kind of, like I say, kind of our goals in general in this matchup. As a bit of bio steps through, the Queen is going to go down. Ling, Roach, Ravager, Bane getting to the front there as well. Couple of Bane step by, a couple of the depots taking shots. Just going to be seeing the bio still jumping into the right side for a couple of moments. Going to go straight after that hatchery. Here come the rest of the Lings, the Banes, the Ultras, all stepping through the front at the moment. Nice blinding clouds coming down. The tank's going to get caught. The Banelin's going to get caught as well. That's a good fight from Reynor. He's turning this around at the moment. It's going to be game 1 going in Reynor's favor. He is going to get a 1-0 lead. After such a good start for Bunny, he couldn't follow through. This started up, and we will go into the second round. In the bottom left-hand corner, we are going to have the blue Terran player here. This is Bunny. And he takes on the red Zerg with the 1-0 lead. In the top right, Reynor from Basilisk, of course. Game 2. And Reynor to take us into that 1-0 lead. Coming across the map, Hatch Gas and Pool coming over. Yeah, Old Republic, this map's been just silently, I think, very good in this map pool so far. Again, I always like the maps that are, like, silently good. It's unfortunate because they don't get a lot of the public vote for being silently good, but I always feel like silently good maps are just, like, maps that fit in, you know? CV coming towards the upper right-hand side. I'm just going to be having the scout across the map, having a look to see what's going on. And yeah, Reaper on the way, Command Center on the way. Get settled in for just a couple of moments. We'll start a dance. Obviously, first drone taking a little bit of damage here, so a few shots coming off. As the drone's the link speed coming up for the moment. The Queen going to be there to push the Reaper back the other direction. Manson coming up, factory about to finish, and we just got ourselves that Evo chamber building as well. Link speed will be about halfway done. Again, a couple of dronies on the way up, and then factory going to get the reactor moving. Starport on the way, gas building, and that Reaper taking a couple of extra shots there as well. The Lings will do some nibbles. Obviously, just clean up those rocks to avoid some misclicks later. It's going to be the Carapace upgrade. Got that Carapace coming online. Carapace starts. Again, the Queen and a couple of drones coming through. Just seeing the Hellions and the Viking on the side of Bunny, and he drops the tech lab on the barracks. I get the feeling we're about to see the I get the feeling we're about to see a cheeky little bit of Marauder Hellbat once again. Oh no! Well, he started stim. He builds a Marine. Now a Liberator. Okay, maybe just okay, maybe this is actually just very standard then. I mean, it is triple CC, but I thought we were going to see some like aggression beyond the triple command center. But no, that's just going to be very normal. I probably should have just read it. I don't know why I think I just had Marauder Hellbat on the mind from earlier. This doesn't really make sense for Marauders after the triple CC, but I'm going to pretend it's a thing. Look, if you play me on the ladder, guys, you're going to have to watch out and be very careful. That Marauder, the 3CC Marauder timing is deadly. I promise you, okay? I promise you. Dumb question. What's the point of the rocks down from the natural? Oh, these ones here. It's to stop someone building a wall off to wall you into your base. So if you imagine early game, a Terran rushes you and goes depot, bunker, depot, it stops this area from being walled, and then you can't run down the ramp and out your base. So, yeah, it just means that you can't basically wall someone into their base. And you might think, well, would anyone ever do that? Yes, because the one time they forgot to add these rocks on a GSL version of the map, it was instantly abused, and Marine King won a game off of DRG. And it was draws at DRG or Nesty, whichever it was disgusting. People complained, people were mad, Terran abusers. But yeah, it was a legitimate build because the one spawn was missing the rocks, and that was the spawn the Zerg spawned in, and they got abused immediately. 3 pylons as well, yeah. Solar and Big Boy, well, Solar and Big Boy actually had the rocks. No, it was just that ramp was actually messed up. Yeah. I believe they actually had the rocks, it was just, because that was a 1 pylon wall, which was even more ridiculous. So yeah, that was actually a problem with the ramp. That one was, I actually think that one was a bit worse because that one was more of a bug than it was like, you know, the rocks weren't there, it's obviously a mistake. But then it's like you're playing the layout of the map. The single pylon should never have been able to wall around. That's kind of silly. Either way, still players finding it, abusing it, and taking advantage. Why the hell not? The solar pylon one was very bad to watch. Yeah. Like, the thing is like, to me the difference is like in the ZvT one, is like the Zerg had access to that map version and could see the rocks were not there and could have maybe thought about it, right? Whereas if you load into a game and you see the rocks on the low ground, your presumption is you cannot be walled into your base by a pylon, you know? You know, there's no reason for you to check if someone can 1 pylon wall you in because the map should not be designed like that, right? So yeah, it was A little bit silly, a little bit sad. Like, it's a very fine distinction, but I do think there's a distinction there. Anyways, enough of that. We got Terrence pushing across the map. As we're going to see Marine Tank Hellback coming through. Is it true that Parting's back? Yeah. I messaged him to see if he wanted to play in this tournament. He said no, he's not good enough just yet. He said, but if I invite him next time, he'll play. And I said, fine, you tell me when you're ready to dominate, and I will invite you to anything you want to play in. So, yeah, Parting's just practicing up, man. He's getting ready to dominate again. He's back from all those other RTS games. The Marines step through. A couple Queens are going to be there. We fight against those Marines. We push that away. There's a little position in the center. Ooh, nice run by. Going to catch the reinforcements. Great from Reynor. Bunch of Marines and a siege tank going down. So that's what you like to see. What I don't love to see is those Lings continuing through. That's always one of those those follow-up moments where it's like, oh, you did so well, and now we're just going to lose a bunch after the fact for kind of no reason at all. It was so good until it wasn't. That definitely feels a little bit like what that was there. As we now have the barracks all finishing. So we're just 8 racks into Bunny. Going to try and send it here on Old Republic. It feels like a big map for 8 racks and on, but there is kind of this, you know, if you do just fight through the center, surrounds are somewhat difficult to come by. +2 melee, Burrow coming online. Just going to see that infestation pit building as well. We add some extra Zerglings on. Marines, 2-2 upgrade, siege tank all building on the side of Bunny. As, again, we very much don't know what Bunny's about. The question is, can Bunny get reinforcements across the map without being caught again? He has to pull back because that's a lot of Lings that Reynor shows. That SCV is actually a saving grace because if you lose another round of reinforcements before they get across the map, I'm not sure if there's much opportunity. Reynor trying to get to an infestation pit, which is hopeful. If you get there, then brilliant. Tank does get sieged. The Marines pulling back, trying to take this trade. Yeah, the Marines get shut down, but they got quite a lot of the Zerglings at least, so that's Lings that are obviously not back at home playing defense. Lings is going to get through. A couple of SCVs going down again. 8 workers falling. Just going to be seeing the Ling Bane going to continue through. I love the Burrow. Just force a scan, force some units to stick around there a bit longer. Why the hell not? But the big push is still happening, and Bunny is putting the pressure into the other side of the map. Damage being done. 8 SCVs lost for Bunny. And he's going to get rid of this forward hatchery. My problem is that we saw this in the last game already. You need to keep on going. You know, you need to kind of, you know, take this advantage and run with it here. I'll that up the ramp. The Marine's going to be there. 2-2 upgrades still coming online. Extra Marines and the vehicle weapons coming up. The medevacs have to take a little bit of a dodge backward. Banes are looking to reach that mineral line. A couple of SCVs very nearly going down. A couple of Banes are going to connect through as well. All these units just keep pushing down. The Baneling's getting crashed into. The Queen coming across. We're going to be seeing Bunny is making good progress, but again, we're not done yet. Got to keep pushing forward, keep getting those tanks sieged. That's a lot of Banelings that Reynor still has access to. Good splits from Bunny, kind of as good as they're going to get. And is that not enough? Apparently not. I felt like Bunny was on the verge of still doing okay, but he just doesn't have a lot of supply right here. Like, his supply was like only down by 16, but I guess we're also... honestly, we just have a lot of Marines that aren't around, but also there's not enough splash damage to help against the swarminess of the Banes, and that takes away a lot of what we typically need to see. GG's, and that is going to be game number 2. Going the way of Reynor. And